Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. We are going to go ahead and call to order our SJBA PCD Environmental Justice Advisory Group meeting. I will do my best to facilitate a smooth meeting with public participation via Zoom and webcast. Before we begin, here are some important guidelines and general instructions for the meeting. Please silence your communication devices such as your cell phone. During the meeting, all public participants will be placed on mute by the host. Public members will not be able to mute or unmute manually. Audio from members of the public will be unmuted once they are recognized to make a public statement or comment. I will call the meeting to order and ask the clerk for roll call, please.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Martinez. Mr. Graywall.
Here.
Thank you. Mr. Freitas.
Here.
Ms. Gutile.
Here.
Ms. Vielma. Mr. Helm. Mr. Williams. Ms. Rodriguez. Ms. Matthews. Mr. Cryer.
Here.
Mr. Liebe.
I'm here.
Mr. Cunha.
Here.
Okay, through the chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you. And now I will ask if there are any corrections or additions to the minutes previously submitted for the June 26th EJAG meeting.
I'll call for public comments on the meeting minutes. Are there any public comments in Bakersfield on the June meeting minutes?
No public comment in Bakersfield.
Thank you. Modesto, do you have any public comments on item 3, the June minutes?
No public comments in Modesto.
Thank you. Any members of the public in Fresno that would like to comment on the minutes? Seeing none and none online.
Okay. Then we'll call those approved. Okay. Okay, and then item number 4, this time is made available for comments from the public on matters that are not on the agenda. It is requested that no comments be made during this period on items on the agenda. The public may make comments on each EJAG agenda item during the time allowed for public comments. Attention is called to the fact that the EJAG is prohibited by law from taking any action on discussion of matters that are not on the agenda.
Okay, I'll call for public comments. Bakersfield, do you have any public comments?
No public comment in Bakersfield.
Thank you. Modesto, do you have any public comments?
No public comments in Modesto.
Thank you. Any members of the public in Fresno that would like to comment? Seeing none and none online.
Okay. Thank you. And we'll move on to number 5, chair comments. I think my only comment is thank you all for being here and making the time to I lost my train of thought. To participate. To participate in these meetings. I appreciate your time. So we will move on to number 6, update on attainment of plans and rules. This goal and objective is objective number 8. The EJAG will continue to be informed and updated regarding air quality and climate legislation and regulation as appropriate and ensure that EJAG communities, environmental justice communities, concerns are taken into account. Hi.
All right, I'd like to introduce Tim Franquist. And so many of you have gotten to know Emily Nealon over the last several years in her role as the director of our planning team. Emily is going to be leaving the district this month after more than 5 years of service and doing an outstanding job for the organization, both in the work that she's done and with our planning team, but as well as working with Valley stakeholders. And like I said, doing an awesome job representing us. And we're going to miss her greatly. And, we held a recruitment, and Tim, who has a lot of previous experience, has been appointed to that position. And so we're very excited to work with him. He has a lot of prior experience working in the state of Arizona and heading up the state efforts, air pollution efforts there. And so he brings a tremendous wealth of knowledge and experience to this position. And we're just excited to see him in his new role here at the organization. So at this point, I'll turn it over to Tim.
Thank you, Ryan. I really appreciate that. And
There is a request, Tim, to have you spell your last name.
spell my last name is Franquist.
Thank you, sir.
Madam Chair, members of the committee. Again, my name is Tim Franquist, currently planning manager. I'll be providing you with a brief update on rules and planning efforts today. First, starting with a proposal that happened in June regarding the 2023 1-hour ozone maintenance plan. The EPA is proposing to redesignate the valley to attainment for the 1979 ozone standard. And with that action, that will actually terminate any backsliding obligations. In July, EPA is also proposing to find that the district attained the 15 microgram PM 2.5 annual standard. Obviously, this is a huge accomplishment for the valley, but to be fully redesignated, the district must develop a maintenance plan, which we're currently doing, and that will be for both the 1997 PM 2.5 standards, but just a huge accomplishment here for the valley, of course. And then lastly, again in July, EPA proposed to determine that the valley had failed to attain the 84 parts per billion 8-hour ozone standard by the attainment date. With that, CARB, EPA, of course, the valley stakeholders are working on next steps on as that action finalizes. With that, we'll make some changes to the 185 non-attainment fees, which will be triggered as part of that. And then also with the final proposal, the state smog check contingency measure will also be likely triggered. Turning to rule updates, again, as part of our 2024 PM 2.5 commitments, we're continuing to work on Rule 4901 for fireplaces, Rule 4550 for conservation management practices, as well as our contingency coding rules, the coding rules for the contingency measures. We're going to have additional workshops later this summer, and we'll keep you updated as that happens. So with that, that concludes my update, and happy to take any questions.
Wow, that was awesome. I'll start first for questions in Bakersfield. Okay, seeing none, and then I will go to Modesto. And hi, SB, thanks for coming.
I just have a quick comment, if I can, Madam Chair. I think there's, pardon? Pardon? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I just, want to applaud and recognize the success that we've had in looking at the PM 2.5 15 microgram per meter cube standard that we reached, which Tim recited, and looking at the Federal Register, my hometown of Stockton's at 10.1 and Manteca 8.1. I think this is consistent with relatively low levels of ambient PM 2.5, so I think that's a real accomplishment.
I agree. Okay, then I'll come back in here to Fresno. Daniel?
Were you going to go? Oh. I have a question, maybe, Tim. We've done a big, huge reduction of fireplace replacement through the program, which has been tremendously outstanding. And we continually doing that like we do the car program. I have a question because I was thinking about this was, we have 4 million people in the valley, approximately, plus or minus. How many fireplaces, not counting the hills on either side, because of 3,000 feet above. Can't rely on PG&E and there is no power. The only source of power is propane. They don't run gas lines up to Dinky Creek, okay? But how many fireplaces do you think are left in the system that we, over the next, let's give us 5 years till 2030. How many fireplaces do you think we still have to change out to a cleaner burning device? Let's use that word, okay? What do you think that number is? 2 million, 3 million?
A lot. I don't, I texted John Klassen, who has worked a lot with, the modeling team and, they are the ones that work in that data the most extensively. And so if I do get a response back, I'll be sure to share it out, but I don't have that number.
Because every time I hear the district talk about it at the board meetings, and I just think to myself, well, how many have we done? Well, we've done 7,000 or 11,000 houses. And we know if we have 4 million residents, well, let's just take 3 million of them live right on the floor. And many houses were built in the 60s and the 50s, the 70s, even the 80s that had fireplaces, wood burning fireplaces. It's just something because your results have been tremendous. The ones you've replaced, my God, you've done a tremendous reduction of 2.5 and even lower number. So it's always, I've always wondered that. But it's just something to ask Google maybe, huh? Is that right?
I'm sure we could provide specific numbers for next meeting if I can't get it today. I think it does highlight one of the important things about the way that we designed this in the hotspot strategy in the rule. And then we had, so I'm sure many of you are aware that different counties that they experienced the most challenges during the PM 2.5 seasons, they had different requirements than some of the other counties in terms of when no burning declarations were called. And we had 2 levels. We have a level 1 and a level 2, where, level 1, like only certain restrictions apply. People with registrations could still burn. Level 2 would prohibit anybody from burning. And, through that effort, we also tied that to enhanced incentives to make sure that we were trying to target those funds, get the devices in those areas that were most likely causing challenges with our attainment and would help drive us towards achieving attainment of national ambient air quality standards. And so, that's one of the things, like in thinking, how do we do this strategically, common sense? And so, yeah, really appreciate the board's foresight.
Yeah, tremendous job. I mean, really have. You done I think as stated earlier, the accomplishments for the Stockton area and all of that Ned talked about, I think really gives the district a tremendous credit and the staff. And but again, thank you.
Okay, and Keith.
You mentioned attainment fees triggered. What would you could explain that? Just elaborate a little bit.
Yep, Madam Chair, members of the committee, when you're in non-attainment for anything past severe permanent sources, major sources are required to pay a specific fee based on their emissions. So with the, it's kind of a switch. So when we attain for the 1979 1-hour ozone, that fee will go away. Like when we get the final proposal for failure to attain for the 1997 standard, it actually re-triggers that major source fee. So it's a fee that may, very large. Well, here I guess it's a little bit smaller sources, but it'd be those major sources in the valley. They pay a fee.
Could you attribute any part of that need to pay that fee that triggered that fee? Wildfires, the effect of wildfires, or a wildfire event?
So, in terms of this has to do with our attainment statuses.
It's different than, it's nothing to
So
do with.
when it comes to wildfires, we're able, and we do, there's exceptional event documentation that we're able to provide to then remove those days where we exceed those standards. So the wildfires do not impact that. Those having wildfires
And measure.
does not impact that triggering effect.
Thank you.
Okay, if there are no other comments or questions, we'll go ahead and move on to number 7 on the agenda. This is the election of the vice chair for a 1-year term. We will now begin the nomination process of the position of vice chair for a 1-year term. At this time, I'll open the floor for nominations.
I would like to nominate SB here in Modesto, which tends to be underrepresented in the leadership. So I hope that I can get a second and support for SB here. Thank you.
Young man, Mr. Ned, I will do that for you, sir.
It's a second.
SB. Okay. We have a nomination and a second, and I suppose I should ask SB, are you accepting of the nomination? I didn't hear you, SB.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Okay, and then I guess we need to call for a public comment.
Yes. Are there any public comments on this item in Modesto?
No public comments in Modesto.
Thank you. Any public comments in Bakersfield on this item?
No public comment in Bakersfield.
Thank you. Are there any members of the public in Fresno that would like to comment? Seeing none and none online, I can call for roll for the vote.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Graywall,
Yes.
Mr. Freitas,
Yes.
Ms. Gutile,
Yes.
Ms. Vielma,
Yes.
Mr. Crier.
Big yes.
Thank you. Mr. Leba,
Yes.
Mr. Cunha.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, through the chair, motion passes.
Okay. Well, with that, we have a new first VP. SV, congratulations. And I also want to thank Randy for your service. I really appreciate you being able to step up when I wasn't able to. And I appreciate your time and the effort that you put into this EJAG. Thank you. Okay. So now we'll go down to number 8, Valley-wide fall outreach updates. This is goal and objective number 4 and number 3. Number 4, increase public participation in the efforts of EJAG. And number 3, work with the district to ensure specific public documents created by the district are culturally sensitive and reflect EJ principles.
Hello. They're pulling up my presentation right now. My name is Heather Hanks. I am the program manager for the outreach and communications team. And it is my pleasure to be here with you this evening. Yeah, thank you. Okay, here we go. Jumping right in. I've got lots of lovely things to tell you. Let's start off with the sort of the overview of our outreach. We've worked closely with our board approved action that says exactly these 3 goals: encourage and enlist the general public to support clean air efforts. We work to empower and inform them to protect themselves. And we work to provide accurate and objective information that conveys what we're doing in the Valley's effort to reduce air pollution and how we're achieving that, and certainly what challenges remain. Those 3 are the guiding principles that sort of create all of the work we do in our outreach team. This is our annual report, and I hope you've heard of it already this season, but the little gold seal in the corner, it's award-winning actually, and we're going to show that off. We put a very comprehensive report together, and if you haven't got a copy, you can certainly get some. We have it in English and Spanish, and it's very readable. It starts with articles and stories like you would be reading a newspaper, and then you can dig into the back and kind of learn about departments and sources of pollution and efforts that we've made. So a very, very timely document, and I encourage you to check it out if you don't have it. Plus, it's on our website, so you don't have to have a printed one anyway. So in general outreach, and it's funny that today was like it was, we work with county public health officers. And I say that because today we've had a lot of movement with the local wildfire. And we, as a matter of fact, we're in touch with our health officers today. Fresno County actually put out a state of emergency for the Garnet Fire, which is probably what, 14,000 acres now? 16, thank you, Ryan. It's deep in the Sequoia National Forest. So the good news is it's a little bit further away, and the better news was that it sort of shot up straight and was in the atmosphere for a while, but now we're seeing what usually happens, or we anticipate the weather changes. It's now smearing across the valley. And so we spent today warning schools, media, general public of the expectation that we will have potentially poor air quality based on that fire and the heat in the coming days. We also are very proud to be in the Central California Public Health Consortium, which means we're meeting regularly with the health department folks across all 8 counties. Also proud to say that our team manages bilingual communications with just about every major media outlet out there, TV, print, radio. And we also talk extensively with meteorologists and the folks that do this work, and the National Weather Service, and daily reporters that might be checking air quality, and build relationships so that they come to us for this information and we can get it out quickly when we've got episodes like today. Very proud to tell you about our schools program. Fall is a big time for us, and I'll show you some photos here in a second. Just a refresher, the Healthy Air Living Schools program is valley-wide. We have about 1,500 schools that we're trying to tackle. And by that, I mean, educate them on air quality, provide the tools that we have, get them no idling signs, help them advocate at the student and parent level, and just in general, do air quality education with children. Once they know, we find that they take that information home and they're telling mom and dad not to idle by the school side, and they're recognizing the things that we're telling them about and educating them. So it's very useful. And we spend the fall season heading out there to connect with parents directly. We also have new tools, and this is what I want to tell you about today. The last several years, we've had a lot of intense effort working with teachers, establishing relationships, and trying to find tools that would engage students. We have since produced several new tools. I'm very proud of them. In the background of that image, you can see a matching game. Little kids have to figure out where pollution comes from and what makes it. Many times they just don't realize that a car is polluting, or whatever that particular source might be. We also created a small booklet that's like we call them board books, little hard books that you can give to smaller children so the pages don't rip and tear. And it's just basically our healthier heroes in natural environments, talking about things you can do to improve air quality. And then, of course, we made a puzzle game that is, I think, in that first picture there. We love, there's the board books too. The first picture has it's like a puzzle matching game on the colored pieces that you end up making a nice picture out of. It talks about, clean air vehicles and raking instead of, using a lawnmower, that sort of thing, or use an electric lawnmower. In the middle, new board book for kids. Very happy about that. Definitely can share some with you guys and around the district if you need some. And then on the right, this was one of the bigger highlights for us because we've engaged teachers. This is a student activity box, and teachers take this box and they put out paper plates and test air quality and look at particles. They really get in the weeds of what it looks like. They put a paper plate out in the, near their school. 3 days later, they check it and they see that pieces of stuff have stuck to it. And then they have conversations about what those pieces of stuff are. And they put them around the school, and why this one doesn't have that many, and this one maybe has more. And we've been trying it out, and we've been getting feedback from the teachers. So we've developed a worksheet. It's really been awesome and is sort of expanding. And we hope to share it with many more schools this coming season. We love when they come to us for air quality activities. It might very well be a mosquito trap. I should ask. I might find that we've had a mosquito stuck to one of those potentially. And And some more pictures just to show you, we have a small but mighty team, and we go all across this valley. These are general outreach events at school sites. Then we get into the specific pickup and drop off times. We'll stand out at the the front of schools and talk to families and have great conversations and tell them about resources and explain to them why they should know and be aware of air quality. A few more of those. You can see in that right picture, that's an example of our cell phone app. We would hand out packets that maybe had that promotion in it, talked about what to do in wildfires if you need to wear a mask or be outside, and certainly encouraging folks to participate in our kids calendar contest. The season is now, so looking at all of you, recruit widely. The deadline is September 26th, and we would love entries for basically clean air messages that we end up putting in the calendar for the whole month. For the whole year. Next year, 2026, we'll produce probably by December. So if you know a student that likes to draw, send them our way. We'd like to get their entries. And speaking of students, we do go to classrooms too. Love being in the space that the kids have incredible minds and really challenge us and refine the way we deliver our information to them, because they soak it up and they want more. In one picture here, we actually have one of our air quality team helping guide the conversation about air monitoring. And we also do it for parents. So we go to school sites for parent meetings, coffee hour, things in the library, whatever's happening, a chance to connect with the community and talk about air quality. And this is a video that I think I need assistance with playing. You can start at any time. This is a highlight video. There's no sound. And basically, you're looking at our brand new website. I certainly hope maybe you've already seen it and been met with surprise and enjoyment at how organized it is. We really took the effort to make it user-friendly, establish the things that for accessibility and language that help us serve all Valley residents. The basics are at the top of the page, much like any website you would find. And then all of the main things we support are below. Hopefully you can stay up with the latest news right there on the home site. We also have incorporated Air Now. We've been talking a lot about empowering schools and the public with tools, and Air Now is yet another good tool to get basic air quality information. And so we've hosting that on our site as well. At the top, you'll see all the main departments, if you will, that you're familiar with. They're not organized so much by department as they are organized by the information the public needs. So we were trying to be user-friendly and get them right to where they need to go with menus and a lot more clear information. And there's just a couple more examples as the video goes on. The good news is we have a lot of like our permits record keeping and our ability to have folks apply online for grants. A lot of things kind of go through our website. So we're very happy that, and a public calendar too. We're very happy that it's much more modern and serving the public. And I absolutely have noticed that I find things faster. See, there's current regulations, rules under development, and of course, language. If you notice, we've added multiple languages and you can, get it Spanish, Punjabi, whatever you need, it'll translate any page. And then of course, it's mobile friendly. Finally, have you ever been to a website where you're looking on your phone and you're like zooming in because you can't really see? This is how our website presents on a phone now. You don't have to zoom in anymore. It literally takes each segmented area, presents it to you cleanly, and gives you a chance to look through it. So we are now mobile friendly. I think we did the math in about almost 50%, probably maybe just a tick more, use mobile to get our information, right? Everybody's using their phone, scanning QR codes and going right to stuff. So we need to be able to give them that information well when they get there. Next slide. Have you seen our new website? Anybody? Have you been there? Rita's seen it. Lovely. Keith's seen it. Awesome. Just checking. More online resources. That was what I was showing you, valleyair.org. We also have healthyairliving.com. Specifically, we send a lot of folks to the school's website. That's where a lot of information lives. Teachers and administrators can get the no idling signs, the kids kit, the basic explanation of ROAR, which are the outdoor activity guidelines, and what they should be doing when air quality changes, and how they should respond with their students. Today, I spent a lot of time on valleyair.org/wildfires. Great resource. This page has developed over about a decade of our work and really is comprehensive. You can find how to make a do-it-yourself air purifier. You can find a link to clean air rooms where maybe you can apply for one yourself. It's got clean air centers, which are the places that when we have severe air quality, they activate across the valley, and the public can go to like libraries and places like that to get clean air. But all of that lives at Wildfire Page, and we're very proud of it. It also links to CAL FIRE and the Forest Service and all of those agencies that are working hard to protect us when fires are happening. Busy season for us. We're in the spirit of our sort of summer campaign, Healthy Air Living campaign, or just general outreach for the summer season. We've definitely made use of our governing board members. It's very nice when they model the behaviors that we hope the public will take on. It's multilingual. And we do all of the various things you can imagine, streaming TV and billboards outside. You may have seen them driving to and from our office. Cartellus posters are awesome too. Those are the smaller, often bilingual messages that are in markets and out in rural communities. And you walk up to the market and you see this ad on the wall as you go in. So like the local billboards, I like to say. And of course, we are all over social media, and it's growing. There's new mediums, if you will, like the bottom one, that @ symbol is Threads. That's a spinoff that we basically just try and be present everywhere. We recognize that Valley residents are all different types and all different interests and access points for information. And so we try and keep consistent information across all of those and manage it for the medium that we're in. So maybe not always the exact same message. Certainly that greenhouse is next door. Little bit different, where if you saw us on Facebook or in Instagram, it's a message from our agency. In Nextdoor, the messages actually come from myself, my team. It has our name and our photo. It's far more personal and gives us a chance to hit a whole different crop of folks that I think that has been good in the last several years since that one has developed. And this campaign that we're currently in is the Our Valley campaign. Very proud of it. You can see right there front and center. Thank you, Valley residents and businesses. It is our goal to thank the public for the actions they take and also educate them and communicate that we need to continue and say thank you, because today our air is much cleaner than it was in the past. This webpage is on a QR code on the commercials that are currently running. And so we hope folks, maybe if they're interested, I don't know if you've ever scanned your TV when there's a QR code, but you could jump right to this webpage when you saw the commercial on, during the football game or whatever. And at the bottom of this page, we have a survey. Oops, I'll show you that in just a second. And we're encouraging the public to take our survey. We've got it out there. It's a basic air quality survey that says, hey, do you do things for air quality? And it's about 5 questions, and trying to entice the public with a raffle prize or a prize to be won for giving us feedback. So a little bit of an extra push in our campaign this year. And speaking of that campaign, I'm going to show you the commercials. Back to the board members that we use. We have very talented board members and talented staff that we produce these commercials in-house, and we produce them in English and Spanish. And this is a loop of probably 3 or 4 versions of it that air in different parts of the valley, because we have different board members in our different media markets. If you'll press play.
In our great valley called San Joaquin, we work the soil.
We raise our children.
We invest in our communities.
And we hope to leave a lasting legacy.
This valley is our home, and we all breathe the same air.
We want to say thank you.
Today, our air is much cleaner than in the past.
And while we still have work to do together,
through your efforts, our valley is cleaner than it has ever been.
Visit valleyair.org/ourvalley to continue building a healthy future for us all.
In our great valley called San Joaquin,
we work the soil.
We raise our children.
we invest in our communities.
And we hope to leave a lasting legacy.
the valley is our home, and we all breathe the same air.
We want to say thank you.
Today, our air is much cleaner than in the past.
And while we still have work to do together,
Through your efforts,
our valley will be cleaner than it has ever been before.
Visit valleyair.org/Our Valley to continue building a healthy future for all of us.
In our great valley called San Joaquin,
We work the soil.
We raise our children.
We invest in our communities.
And we hope to leave a lasting legacy.
this valley is our home, and we all breathe the same air.
We want to say thank you.
Today, our air is much cleaner than in the past.
And while we still have work to do together,
Through your efforts, our valley is cleaner than it has ever been.
Visit valleyair.org/Our Valley to continue building a healthy future for all of us.
En nuestro gran valle llamado San Joaquín,
cultivamos la tierra,
Criamos a nuestros hijos.
Invertimos en nuestras comunidades y esperamos dejar una huella duradera.
este valle es nuestro hogar y todos respiramos el mismo aire.
queremos decirte gracias.
Aunque aún queda trabajo que hacer,
Gracias a tus esfuerzos, nuestro valle está más limpio que nunca.
Visita valleyair.org/Our Valley para seguir construyendo un futuro saludable para todos.
And that was it. I misspoke. We didn't put the QR on the commercials. We put it on the cartelas. So that's an example of our latest campaign that we're very proud of. And then we also run a lot of specific programmatic campaigns, like, for example, promoting clean green yard machines for the public, or, running those ads on social where folks can click directly and apply, or directly to see information. It's very valuable that we have such a lovely website to house that information.
in our great valley.
Oops, sorry. There you go. There's an example also of some of the media that we put out. Those are cartelas that I was mentioning end up in kind of rural communities, smaller communities, in the markets and things, hopefully where folks are busy shopping. And this is what I wanted to show you. This is the survey. You could actually scan that QR code right now and take it if you'd like. But that's pretty much what we're asking the residents in the Valley to do. We got really good feedback this time of year last year. Gives us a sense of just what people think about air quality. Are they noticing change? And are they making efforts themselves? And it also educates them at the same time. So we're busy. We're busy here at the outreach team in the San Joaquin Valley Air District, and we are very happy to deliver information to the public all year long. Our fall update is probably our fun one, just simply because we get to be in the schools and talk directly to folks for several weeks. But do you have any questions?
Oh, my goodness.
Drinking from a fire hose.
But that is all amazing and wonderful.
Thank you.
I love that. I love the way that your team has put the website onto a phone app, and that as cleanly as it is. I mean, because that's one of my biggest frustrations too, is it's like I'm on my phone like 90% of the time, probably some days and it's like I can't see it. Even on my iPad, I can't.
Yes, exactly.
So I think that was all, that's very amazing. And I really commend you and your whole staff and all that works so hard to put that together.
Thank you.
It's amazing. Thank you very much. And with those comments, I will also recognize that Ms. Reyna is here. Thank you for coming. I appreciate you being here. And we'll go with comments. We'll start in Modesto this time.
No, that was great. It's always great, Heather, everything that you do. I mean, especially your energy when it comes to this. The website does look amazing. And the toolkit that you have for the schools, I think I heard you say that you're going to send one off to us. So we would have that as an example as we're out there helping you with the outreach. Also, I don't know if you have, because this is a very comprehensive package. So if you had like a social media toolkit that you would want us to share, besides like the organizations that you already have, and then obviously like with the cities, like specifically like in one of the areas that I work with, the mayor's office, they're, they have their own social media page that they can also share anything that you have as far as the actual like a social media toolkit, which I know that you have. And And then the other thing was on the school outreach. I know it's like all the schools. Does it also include all the migrant ed programs for the different counties? So just because I know that that's where a lot of the youth and then the parents are obviously directly affected with the air quality being that they're outdoors, you know, working in the fields. So I don't know if that was one of the outreach efforts, if that was on the list. Because I know the school district, you know, they'll do the outreach, but sometimes because I think there's somewhere they've transitioned and they're part of County Office of Education.
That was what I was
so-
just going to ask. Yes. And we definitely do
Yeah.
consult the county offices of ed, but I think I will go back and make a specific ask for that program.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
think if you go through migrant ed and then they have their regional offices, and so you can reach a lot of the parents and the youth that way. So, and they can help most definitely. I know that there was talk previously when we were doing some of the outreach that there were going to be that little stories or what have you through social media of the different folks that have gone through our incentive program, you know, whether it's the lawnmower or what have you. I know there was commercials about, you know, real folks that received those incentives. And so, and I just got reminded because they had here in this office, the landscaper work group program. And so I had some feedback from one of the businesses that we had shared with in Stockton. And so they were elated at the fact that they were able to save all kinds of money in going electric. So anything that you need on our end, then I can put you in touch with that particular business. They're like a small, medium-sized landscaping business that, you know, does do a lot of banks and what have you. And so they were very much satisfied with the program. So as we get those, we send them your way, you know, let us know how we
Awesome.
can help with the outreach. But amazing and great as always. Thank you so much.
Thank you, SB, and thank you for the opportunity to highlight something that I didn't really spend too much time on, which is what you said, the Believe It series. That's what we call that. We take our grantees from various programs and we put them in the commercials in the space where they're using the actual equipment that we've provided or helped fund, and they're enjoying the benefits. And we've made those into commercials. And so our YouTube page has a nice folder with those in it. And if you go back to the last slide, let's see if this one works. We have what you call a link tree. We have so many social media sites that we often point to this link tree that puts them all together and lets you kind of choose which one you want. And it's okay if you don't have it. They've got it in there. The last page of my presentation has a QR code that will take you that link tree as well. So, and that's something that I can send you directly, SB, if you want to share it. Oh, yes, that's a wonderful idea. Instead of the presentation, all right, would you pull up YouTube?
If you guys are doing that over there.
I'll show you. And we have some more videos in the next presentation to show you. I'm very proud of the work we do.
While they're booting that up, you know, we definitely just wanted to take this opportunity. You know, Heather and the team do an amazing job. EJAG has played such an important role in helping inform a lot of the outreach messaging. And so as you're seeing these things, really appreciate the feedback that SB has. But anybody else, as we're talking about these things, always be thinking of your communities that you're in, the people that you work with. You know, maybe comments, feedback you've gotten from them. I'm sure you know many of your friends, families, coworkers know that you serve on this group, and so you may have feedback from them for us. And so please be sure to share that. And you know, we're always looking to improve what we do, and you know, we definitely leave no stone unturned in order to make sure our messaging is where it needs to be, and we're touching or reaching the groups that need to be reached. And yeah, so you play a really, really important role in that effort. So thanks.
I agree. I'm very thankful for you. Okay, if you'll share the screen, I'm going to just show you real quick. this is our YouTube page, which houses pretty much all of the video files that we share with the public. And thank you. I'm gonna see. The commercial series for the governing board is here that we talked about. And then of course, the Believe It series is what Espy was talking about. And here's an example. Oh, wait, I can't show you that one because that's in the next presentation. I don't want to steal Stephanie's thunder. I'm going to show you a different one. I'm going to show you this one. Oh, I'll do the award-winning one. This one won an award.
I'm Ivan Hurd. I'm a third-generation ag and livestock farmer here in Kings County. I went through the tractor replacement program, and it's a simple process. San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control, they'll help you do your paperwork. The grants are what they seem. I got a 165 horsepower tractor here, the 6150R. This tractor here is $200,000 new. It's slightly used, and this tractor costs $94,000, and all I have to pay is $20,000. So I'm living proof of it.
We're the Roberts and we live in Fresno County.
I won't make you watch them all, but we definitely have multiple commercials for our various programs. Okay, I'm back.
That's just wonderful. I didn't even know that those short videos were there.
So my goal is to make that known more. Yes, one of our ongoing goals.
Okay, let's go with Bakersfield. If there's any comments, questions in Bakersfield.
I have a couple of questions. Awesome work, first of all. Thank you for that contribution. A question about outreach. Is there any dedicated team members that schools would utilize to have you guys come in and speak to them? Or second part of the question is, can they request that on the Healthy Air Living /schools link?
Great questions. The answer is yes to both of those. They can also request activity kits and things, but by all means, we prefer and love to go out to schools. We've done assemblies, we've done classroom presentations. I think I talked about parent presentations, but we have a house schools team, and they enjoy traveling across the valley and visiting schools and delivering information. So yes, the answer to that is yes. And thank you for asking.
Thank you.
Okay, then I bring it back into Fresno and I'll go with Keith first.
I just got an email. Warning from Air Quality Control Board on the Valley's threat of the Garnett fire.
Oh, there you go.
Just
Thank you, sir, for affirming the work I did
Yeah,
today.
yeah. That worked good. It's a great job. It was a great presentation. Really appreciate the work. I just want to note something. I don't know if it's a contradiction in messaging, but when you have your kids all standing around, I don't know if you've got children, do you guys drop kids off at school? You see the drop off line with the cars sitting there idling? And it's just a tremendous amount of waste and pollution, just cars just sitting there, buses sitting there running and idling.
Yep.
You guys have any kind of kids that go, hey, what about those things going on over there? Anybody paid attention to any of that yet, that we're out there saying one message and we're doing another, we're doing something different?
Well, that's the good news. Those kids are very accountable and they'll tell mom and dad not to idle. And that actually is the crux of what we work on, getting schools to understand, and parents. We have signs that we've developed that ask parents not to idle. And it's kind of comical sometimes when we go do school outreach and we're standing in front of one of those signs watching them. But that's when we go up to their window and, give them some goodies and a little fan and be like, hey, let us tell you why that's not good. And sometimes we're met with resistance, you can imagine. And other times people are very thankful that we helped educate them to protect them. So yes, we very much spend time talking about school idling and even school ingress and egress. I mean, this goes down to the core message of let's talk about how schools are developed and how we build them and what they look like. And all the way across the board in that space. Yes.
That was my next question was
pictures.
How do you think that there could be potentially like just a real simple fix, like just changing the methodology on how they drop kids off on that, and just a system that just makes it more efficient and
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
I was just curious, that might be some kind of project we might want to get on the board, you know?
Encouraging that in the planning process.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's it. Thank you.
Okay, Manuel, I see your lights on.
Uh-oh.
Oh, wait a minute, it's my. First
Can you
thing-
see the sweat on my forehead?
First thing to you, Jamie Holt, the entire team, tremendous job on the booklet.
Oh, thank you,
The
sir.
annual report is tremendous, especially in the Spanish. We've given it out to many of our farmers who
Oh,
have given
wonderful.
it out to the farm labor contractors, just to have something to show that the farmers are doing things as well as everybody else. So it's been a great tool. I have a couple of things. The first one is, have you figured out how to make barcode?
That's the QR code.
Oh, the QR code.
Do you need one, Manuel? Do you need us
No,
to make
workable for those of us that, you know,
You have your phone?
you're giving awards to a lot of people that just do it and walk away. There's those of us that if we touch it, it rings 911 immediately, you know, thinking we're having a problem, you know? Do you want the ambulance or not, you know? That's the only thing we have we know how to handle in our age group. But a lot of people in my age group don't. It's amazed how they do this code.
Yeah.
I know the day that Jamie was doing the presentation at the board, I told Roger in the back there sitting, I'm going to try that. And I couldn't turn it off. And I ruined her. And she was doing the presentation and I couldn't figure out how to, so I had to kill the phone. I couldn't figure out how to stop it talking, you know? But again, I think with the technology of today, and what you and the entire team has done is incredible, especially children. You go there and with an attitude of positiveness, excitement, rather than criticizing and blaming and saying, oh,
Right.
that's a bad industry, that's this and that. Everything you do is a positive direction of doing better and making them part of that
Yes.
discussion.
Wrapping them in.
From the puzzle program to the coloring books to the art display that you're doing, right? But I just think you've done one heck of a job compared to the other 33 air districts in this state. You guys overpower them and deserve that, whatever you want to call it, gold award.
Yeah, the award winning.
I've seen other air districts and I hear from my members, I even hear from Long Beach and from the ports of what their public outreach is. And I hate to say it, it is nothing like what you're doing. It's nothing but a disaster for all sides because it's not solving, but you don't start ripping businesses that have employment. That's their job. And you're going to kill that business or whatever, right? But you guys have done a tremendous job of working and all the board's activities over the years. But the incentives has been your golden platinum program. I think what that gentleman did with that tractor, you don't know what, when he heard he got that tractor and we had gone to the field and told him, hey, it's, you know, you've been approved for this tractor. That the man has also an older son. Older son. The son's got to be in his probably 20s, late 20s. But the gentleman just kind of like not broke down, but tears to his eyes that somebody took took concern for him as a small African-American farmer, a Black farmer. For the first time, nobody has ever said, hey, can we help you? And you, the Air District, I give credit to Fresno Equipment for that program that Todd and even Ryan and others and Aaron and that whole group and Brian, I don't want to forget Brian. I don't want to get into trouble. But your incentive program from the lawnmowers, and I've seen the car program up in Modesto that time we were up there. The people waiting in line were so patient, but they had a plastic bag full of their receipts and everything. And when they got into the room, into the building where the pizza place was. Your staff immediately pulled all everything out of that thing and treated them with the utmost educational respect and not belittling anything they had. And when I saw that, and I thought, my God, what a staff of people that care about people of all colors, people of all ages, and treating everybody with things. So I don't know how much more to say, but the entire team from the Jamie Holt, and I'll never forget the video. If any of you go back in time, some of you aren't that old yet, and I know, but there is a video in the car program where this young lady, African-American woman, and her 2 or 3 children in the car, she pulls her car up and she needs to have a tune-up. She doesn't have the money so she could get her registration. They presented her with this $500 gift certificate or repair voucher. She literally broke down, but said, now I can feed my children down and figure out how to make this happen. The district had the voucher, and this woman was so excited. I mean, it just made you feel like, oh my God, you want to go over there and hug her because of what you did and how you made her life better. But she was really able to spend her money now to help get some food to her children. But also the car is important because of her job. So again, excellent, triple A for your team and Jamie, but Ryan, the entire team, from Samir down and the board. You have a tremendous, I think, an award that says you can do things and clean up the air without tearing businesses apart, and having an incentive program that works compared to the truck program that CARB ran was a disaster, the biggest double F program in the world. But here you took, and I just don't know how to say thank you to all of you. You've done a great job, and the EJAG's part of this whole program of disseminating and getting information out and giving their ideas that have been helping to nurture these communities has been great. So all of you have done a great job, all of the EJAG. So thank you again.
Thank you, Manuel.
Comment real quick to piggyback on what he just said. Isn't this program out of money now? Been completely drained.
So I was going to touch on that. I can talk about it now, but I was going to talk about it in district comments. So some of you may have seen some recent media in regards to the funding agricultural replacement measures for emission reductions, which is a state program shortened for, it's called the Farmer Program for short. So we had a backlog of applications that far outnumbered the amount of funding that we currently had. So what we did was we paused accepting any new applications. We're still processing all the applications that we have. And, we're working tirelessly with, Valley stakeholders, talking with legislators at the state level, the federal level, doing everything we can to secure additional funding to then be able to reopen the programs. So it's not a program shut down. It's simply paused while we go out and we shake the trees in order to try to get the funding for it. And so we need groups like EJAG, like the Citizens Advisory Committee, like businesses and stakeholders throughout the valley to also make known how important these programs are, how much of a benefit these programs are. The Farmer Program has been shown to be the most cost-effective program in terms of getting emission reductions, the quantity of reductions for the dollars, the bang for your buck. It's been shown to be one of the most cost-effective programs. And so for a valley that's very close to meeting a lot of the attainment standards, and achieving them becomes more and more difficult, as we've already we have the most stringent rules anywhere in the nation, and we've reduced emissions from stationary sources basically down to as far as we can. we need to rely upon these incentive funding to find opportunities to reduce emissions in other places. And I'm sure all of you have seen what's happened in terms of federal action to see some of the regulations that the state had developed. And so the plans that we had put together relied upon a lot of those emission reductions. And so now there's a huge gap. And so we are, taking that message. I know Manuel's been a huge part of that and continues to be a huge part of that. And, reminding the state that, that's a huge shortfall. And so we need to then fill it in with other things in order to make sure that we are able to reach those attainment standards, because we're required to. And so, it's going to be very important. We're working right now. It's kind of like a critical time. And so, this will be my pitch, reach out to the legislators, let them know how important these programs are and how big a benefit it has been to the Valley in terms of getting those emission reductions.
Don't you make up the difference in the price of $255,000 tractor and the guy's buying it for 20 grand? Who makes up that difference in that price?
So in that case, that was a trade-up program. And so that wasn't a new one. So it was, in this case, the person that, he got that tractor from someone that got the new one. So that wasn't it was like, quote, like gently used tractor. So he had a very old tractor that he was using. And so by, the first farmer buying a new one, and getting those emission reductions from that.
What's the tier?
It was the latest here.
Tier 4?
Yeah.
Yeah. If it happened to be that time.
Yeah. And so, then that older gently used tractor was then able to be replacing a tier 0. And so you're getting just massive emission reductions from, the change out of both of those tractors with, a brand new one. And then the small farmer, transitioning into a much newer one.
Rena?
Thank you. I agree with your comments. Spot on. And I also want to say, I absolutely love the children's resources. That is so nice. I'd also love to see, I know that you're working with the schools, but there's a segment of community members out there that, I get to see all over the Valley and they're making a tremendous difference. And I would love for them to have a great relationship with the district, which are like all your promotoras and, Family Healthcare Network has promotoras, Soros Altura, Visión y Compromiso, Las Panchas, Campesinas Unidas del Valle, Communities United for Lanier. And these are all very small community groups that are really doing all of the work in your hard to reach areas, which I think the district would really appreciate, because sometimes it's hard to get out there. Sometimes you have to pick and choose the locations where you go, where you're going to get your bang for your buck, right? The majority of population, which sometimes doesn't let you go into places like Tranquility or Cantua or, Sultana or Orosi. So I think having those relationships would be really beneficial, maybe even having a roundtable with all of these organizations and being able to come together and share the resources. I had a question on Nextdoor. I'm wondering if you're doing Nextdoor all over the places where you have coverage. So because I know that sometimes it's very neighborhood based. So that would be my question is, yeah.
Great question. And true to your point, we can hyper target, which we're very happy with. Like, for example, today's message went valley-wide. So anybody that uses Nextdoor in the San Joaquin Valley should have seen it, or, would have appeared in their feed. But to your point, we've had a couple of those, I don't know if it was a hay fire. I can't even think of what the incident was, where we did hyper targeted Nextdoor posts. Hey, there's this happening in your area. And we absolutely make use of that. And in those instances, we can actually have conversations with the public. If you can imagine, we sent one today to probably 500,000 people. And we can't leave that conversation open because it could go off the rails, if you will. But in the smaller context, yes, we hit those little communities and we can send bilingual messages and we can also see kind of how many people it's reaching. And we know, as you pointed out, and Manuel did too, there's just so many different ways people receive information and some people aren't even using that, right? But we need to be in all the spaces so that we hit them all. Yes, thank you.
Wonderful. And because of my outreach efforts in the community, I know and I get to see it. There is a huge need still for Hmong, still for Punjabi and Tagalog, and even going above and beyond. There is a humongous need for information and resources in indigenous languages, primarily Mixteco, Zapoteco, Triqui. They're here, they're part of our community. And I think that even though it's difficult to get this material out there, I think that the Valley has the resources and the right partners living here to be able to make that happen. So those are groups that, you know, I always worry about during emergencies, because how would you know if, you know, Spanish is not your primary language? But speaking of languages, I still have to remind everybody that not everybody can read. Not because I know Spanish doesn't mean I read Spanish. So having video content, I was very pleased to see that you're doing video content, because I really think that that's what's needed. We need more of that to make sure that we're really breaking the language barrier. I would love to see in-person workshops to walk people through your website, because it is very complex and it has tremendous tools. And because I think that it's been a little while since I've seen, well, me on a personal basis, since I've seen the Air District go into different communities and host workshops and be able to like really just have a sit down and talk about your resources. I think the last time I went to a meeting where the Air District was in Visalia was back around 2010 or so that I remember. So I'd love to see that. I think that the website looks wonderful and you're on the right track. But now let's teach people how to use it, right? How do you find things? How do you filter? Where is what I think would be amazing. And just thinking of, you know, as we're sitting here, we have way too much time to think. So I don't know if that's good or bad.
Some of us need it, though. Some of us need it.
But I'm thinking, has the district ever thought, you know, we talked about families, you know, taking their children and their vehicles idling, but many times, especially here in the Valley, it's because of the heat. It's too hot, it's too cold. Has the district ever considered maybe having a campaign with portable little ACs or, you know, heaters, so that people don't feel compelled to idle if they have a solution to not have to sit there when it's really hot or really cold? So just food for thought. And I would say, last but not least, as the small business rep, I would have to say your marketing is on point, on target. And I'm like, I wonder if their team can give us a few pointers, maybe give us a tutorial and a little mini workshop. You never know. I said, I'm going to throw that out there because many other small business owners would probably appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your comments. A couple of really good points you made. Yes, everything moving forward in the world that we work in says that video is the future. I totally agree with that. And yeah, I was going to make another point. Oh, it's gone. I felt like Laura earlier. Sorry.
If it comes back to you, you can always jump back into that. Okay, and so with that, we'll go on to number 9, the AB 617 and community engagement update. This satisfies goal and objective number 10, working with the district to enhance the effectiveness of the district's AB 617 program. Hi, Stephanie.
Hello. Madam Chair and members of the EJAG, Stephanie Ng, Director of Community Strategies and Resources, here to provide you an update on AB 617 implementation and just generally our Valley-wide community engagement efforts since our last meeting. Just as a reminder, we do have 4 CARB selected communities going through AB 617. Those communities are South Central Fresno, Shafter, Stockton, and Arvin Lamont. Each of those individual communities all have a variety of clean air strategies that they have prioritized, all of which are estimated to bring in over 5,000 tons of emission reductions. All of these communities are kind of undergoing in various stages of implementation for their community emissions reduction program and their community air monitoring networks. A couple updates that I wanted to bring specifically about some of the community events that we've been working on is one, I know I've talked about it before, and they've really evolved since we first started holding them, but they are, and again, the name's getting longer and longer and longer. There are Lawnmower Exchange, which have now included our Tune and Tune Up and our Clean Air Rooms program. These are 3 really residential facing programs that are super popular. They're really amazing tools for us to get in front of community members and be able to offer them some really direct resources. Again, like I said, they've evolved a lot. The first couple of events were district led. Our staff was out there. But we have continued to evolve the events, continue to want to make sure that they're streamlined, effective, and that they're serving as many folks as possible. So for our more recent events, we've partnered with Valley Clean Air Now or Valley Can. You all know them very well from working with us on our vehicle programs to even streamline these events even more. Some of the events that we've been to pretty recently, we were in Stockton on June 28th. And then we were just actually, I believe that's last weekend, in Fresno at the Fresno Fairgrounds. We continue to go through all of our communities. So the next community that we have that we will be visiting is on Saturday, November 8th. It'll be in Arvin at the Arvin High School. To date, we've exchanged over 2,000 mowers and over 1,000 vehicles have been tested for emissions. And then also as a part of that, it's not in the slide, but we've also signed up something like over 500 households for various purifiers. Those are just a few pictures. As you can tell, there are a lot of lawnmowers that we are exchanging through these programs, and it's a huge impact, especially kind of more on the local level. When you think about it, lawnmowers are really right there at homes. They're in front yards where kids are playing. And so it's really a good opportunity for us to have a big impact on local emissions. Oh. Okay. We should have provided you maybe with popcorn tonight because we have a lot of videos that we get to share. Like Heather had mentioned earlier, and just actually had an opportunity to walk you through. Coming out of her camp, we have some amazing folks that are really working and focusing on how to message all of the great work that we're doing, which includes a whole host of really great videos. So I wanted to show you all and really walk you through kind of what one of these events look like. This one was an event that we actually held, the June event that we had in Stockton.
So we're out here in Stockton this morning. We're going to have about 550 cars turn out. They're able to, thanks to the Valley Air District, get all kinds of help today with smog repair to make sure that they can re-register their vehicle. They can replace their gas-powered lawnmower with a much more efficient battery-powered one. They can get a home air purifier. All these things are going to help to improve air quality and health and affordability in San Joaquin Valley. And this is all thanks to the Valley Air District being so supportive about really meeting the needs of the residents who need the most help here.
Applying was simple. We were able to apply online. Probably took less than 5 minutes and just came in, give them our paperwork and signed us off and just wait in line to get out of here. So easy peasy.
So are you happy that you're contributing to like a healthy air, healthy Stockton?
Super excited. And I want the electric one. My mom has one and she's been telling me to get one. And I finally got one. So I'm super excited to even try it out.
Just for perspective and kind of to Stephanie's point, you know, the amount of emissions that these generate, it's if you run an old lawnmower, an old gas lawnmower, it's equivalent of driving a car from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. However, those emissions aren't spread out over those several hundred miles. Those are all emissions that are generated right there right where, kids are playing, where people's parents and grandparents are who may not be in the greatest of health. And anytime you have those kind of emissions being generated, there's an increased likelihood that it's going to cause some breathing issues or other medical conditions. So being able to focus these things, get those there, that brings tremendous benefit.
Thanks, Ryan. And another impact that I did just want to share perspective on is, especially for a lot of these residential facing programs like the free air purifier, like the lawnmower, they're really just an excellent tool to get us to be able to have, discussions with community members. We find it very, very easy to be able to begin these discussions when we have an opportunity to offer someone that's something for free. And once we get in the door and have this, enticing, hey, get a free air purifier, you can change out your old lawnmower. We can then have lots of conversations about, hey, do you know how to check your air quality? Or, hey, there are other programs that you can take advantage of. So these are just, again, really great tools to get people in the door. And that's why we really try our best to streamline and be able to offer multiple programs. And we have staff out there that just talk generally about kind of all the work that we do. So again, it is a lot of these programs are a really easy way for us to get in the door to talk about air quality generally. Heather previewed this for all of you, but again, like I mentioned, the lawnmower program, the tune and tune up program, the clean air room program, those are just a small handful of our residential programs. We continue to, through our AB 617 work, make lots of partnerships with different agencies and businesses to reduce emissions in those spaces as well. Pretty recently, we had the opportunity to work with Stockton Unified School District to replace a whole host of commercial lawn and garden equipment. And so we have also another video to show that as well. We're making them work tonight. Yes.
My name is Jermaine Reese. I am the NG Education Specialist at Stockton Unified School District. I was fortunate enough to get the opportunity to work with Valley Air with the ZEL program to actually move our district forward into being more energy efficient for our community and for our workers. When it came to working with Valley Air, it was a seamless transition. I would say that Stockton Unify is at 90 to 95% grounds equipment fully electric. You need to try it and then you'll see the benefits. And yes, you do save money by using these equipments, but we can't only look at the money part of this. We also need to look at the higher benefits, which is the health part. So you're looking out for your workers, students, and community at the same time by transitioning.
One of the things about this program and in talking with a lot of school administrators and they've gotten tremendous feedback from the teachers. Oftentimes in when we have more of the milder temperature with the gas equipment, the teachers can't keep the doors open. They have to close them because the equipment's so loud. And it's remarkable how quiet this equipment is. So they're able to keep the doors open and have more exposure to the outside cooler temperatures. And so there's a lot of additional benefits in addition to just the air quality benefits to this. And so there's also been a lot of feedback from the people that run the equipment, and then also obviously there's less maintenance for this equipment. So they're seeing a lot of savings for the school districts. And so just a lot of benefits for the transition. And this program is not exclusive to AB 617. The district runs an overall commercial lawn and garden program. So, I mean, if you know people that are in that industry and are looking to consider this, definitely send them our way.
Thanks, Ryan. And the last video I wanted to share, it really is, I think, in line with kind of some of the messaging that Ryan shared and an update that I shared in our last EJAG meeting, that And in this, what's, a really difficult budget year, we continue to want to make sure that we're advocating and kind of sharing the really great progress that's happening. One, directly with community members, with businesses, with agencies, with residents, but also with kind of legislators, folks that, we want to make sure that the importance of this program is communicated widely, and we have videos to share that progress. And so we worked really closely with the state to put together this video highlighting the efforts in Stockton, which we have the fortune of having two community members that we work with in Stockton, SB and Ned, here to just thank for all of their work, because this is really what's featured in this video. And as you'll see, there's a lot of great work happening up in Stockton, and we have this great video to help communicate it to you all.
We have two large freeways running on either side of Stockton. We have the Port of Stockton in the heart of Stockton. Even though you can't see it, those very, very, very tiny particles, they call them PM 2.5, and the diesel particulates are in the air. They're getting into lungs, they're getting deep into lungs, and there they sit.
In every 5, we have 2 people in every classroom that is suffering from asthma. So it is a concern.
In this particular community is it's my home. It's my heart.
Our air quality is the way it is because people have been making decisions for us and not with us. And so it's really important for community members to be a part of those conversations and to make decisions for ourselves.
Stockton was prioritized by the Valley Air District and selected by the California Air Resources Board to be a part of AB 617 to receive these focused resources. The Community Steering Committee, or CSC, that was formed to address the concerns in AB 617 in Stockton is comprised of active residents, community-based organizations, partner agencies, partner businesses, all coming together to make sure that we're implementing their community emissions reduction program and community air monitoring plan in a way that feels community supported and in a way that they are participating in the clean air solutions.
I'm a resident, I'm a member of the steering committee, and we're all equal on the steering committee. The Air District is very instrumental in offering staff support, so we really appreciate that. But it's the committee that makes the decisions.
What I really appreciate about the community members in Stockton and the community steering committee is how deeply everybody dived into implementation. It's really a model for just how much excitement there is and participation at the community steering committee level to actually make sure we follow up on the commitments and follow through on the commitments we made in the survey.
I've been a part of the weatherization and indoor air quality subcommittee. Our priority population are folks with asthma or other respiratory illnesses or conditions, elderly, children, low income families, and then the general AB 617 community.
Through the Port Outreach Committee, initially we developed a clean air plan with the members of the committee to help strategize and prioritize, how we go after reducing emissions at the port. And that was a great program, 25 different measures. That led and fed into this great opportunity with EPA Clean Ports, where the port was actually able to go out and get a $110 million grant to help us to fund all of the programs that we identified in the Clean Air Plan.
One of the exciting things is the school buses. So school buses would park in school parking lots around the children and they'd idle.
By July 1st, we'll have 34 electric school buses. And with the AB 617 project, we are awaiting 10 more. I believe that it's important that we don't have our drivers or our students breathing diesel fumes.
We were invited to be a part of a big Earth Day event with the Stockton Unified School District, where we were able to pass out air purifiers and let residents really know, let parents and students know how to be a part of the clean air solution through AB 617.
We actually had a family come in and she didn't know what an air purifier was. She had 3 children. And then I asked her, I said, do you know anybody in your family that might have asthma? And she was like, all 3 of my kids. And I was like, okay, well, so then you want to apply. If you fall within this boundary, you would qualify and you get it for free.
So this is the idea of bringing different groups together so that they can have the opportunity, I should say, to showcase their resources that is located in Stockton and located in the AB 617 area. It's always proud to be in a place who's willing to do the change and stand with the people who wants to do that kind of change.
I think that I want to see that we can go higher. CSC has set the platform. We have to make it everything plain and easier accessible. We've got to work something out that we can get the people taken care of right now.
I feel really proud. I've been trying to tell my friends and other people so that they can be a part of making change as well.
And then we can go back to the presentation. Thanks, team. And so just a couple of other updates for you as we are continuing again to meet residents, where they're at. Some of the work that we are doing kind of as the fall is coming is we are planning what we're calling Pathways to Cleaner Air, a community town hall on September 25th. This is in partnership with the city of Arvin for our Arvin-Lamont AB 617 community. And really the goal of it is to share funding opportunities and resources that the Air District is offering. We have so many grant programs, again, that are directly beneficial to residents, such as our Clean Air Room program, our mower program, our vehicle programs. And we know there are lots of folks in the community that, might not be aware, or maybe they, there are more opportunities that they can take advantage of. So we're really excited to be there in person to be able to provide these, this information and these resources. Being there in the community, we also want to make sure that we're continue to leverage other resources that are there. So we plan to work with lots of other local agencies that provide similar benefits to community members as well. And also we want to leverage kind of the, Raina, you were even mentioning kind of leveraging community health workers, kind of that model of like folks that have the knowledge. So many of our CSC members have built up this capacity to talk about clean air topics. So many of our CSC members have participated in our programs. So we really also want part of the meeting to be about having some of these folks on the CSC share their experiences with their neighbors, their friends, their families. A program that we have been bringing updates to EJAG about a lot that, this is a pretty important update here is our Valley-wide Clean Air Room program. We've talked a lot about EV 617, but just wanted to share the update that our Valley-wide program, especially kind of as we hit summer and prepped and really were preparing for wildfires, we kind of did a big push to make sure that folks were prepared and had purifiers. The program's been widely popular, and at this time we have exhausted funding across all of our counties except for our AB 617 communities. We do have funding that, we do expect to come in. We're not exactly sure the timing of that, but once we do receive that funding, we'll certainly be sure to notify the EJAG. That way you all can let your the folks that you work with know about the program. And finally, we continue to want to continue to partner with other groups, even outside of our AB 617 communities, really throughout the whole valley, to continue to share these important clean air messages. These are just some of the communities that we've recently been to. We were just at a meeting in Lost Hills just last week, and we'll be there again in next month. We've also have invitations to attend some meetings in Madera and Stanislaus County and Delano. And so just a big ask is if you all have folks that you think would want to, this is again an ask that I know that our outreach team shares as well, but if there are community members that or organizations that you know of that want to get involved in this clean air work, let us know. We'd love to connect with them. That is my presentation. I'm happy to open it up to questions.
So when Stephanie and I talked about the agenda, we talked about having a lot of videos. And I was really, really excited about having the videos because I agree to everyone that made the point that having visuals really, really help. And so I'm really excited to see all the videos. Sorry, I didn't bring the popcorn. I should have thought about that. But again, it's, great job. I mean, it's just great job to all the staff that put all the work together. So this time I'll open up questions, comments here in Fresno.
The only thing I can say is great job to the entire 617 staff at the Air District between Bakersfield and Modesto and here, and all the participation again. You've done a great job in bringing in all partners and treating everybody rather than pointing the finger, as compared to I was at another meeting in Long Beach with the South Coast Air Basin, and that was terrible. It was like, you're no good and you're good. And you haven't done any of that. You've done a tremendous job in accomplishing many good things. Even the sidewalk in Arvin that you did. That was not maybe a big thing, but it was for these parents and these kids that walked in the dirt. And you went in and you did a sidewalk. Just such a small little thing that meant so much. So again, I give you the entire team, including ARB. ARB has been a good partner in this one. I've got to give them support credit. But again, you're doing a great job in reaching all those communities, including if it's in Orosi or Cutler or Sultana or any of those, or even on the west side. So great job.
Raina?
Yeah, I just want to agree. I really have been very amazed with the work that has been done and your openness to take input and really hear community out has been amazing. And I look forward to seeing the community members who come to these meetings very excited and, keep coming back for more. I'm very excited to see them empowered to go out and educate others because I really feel that that's what brings them to the table. I was going to ask a question, but you answered regarding whether when people go to the events, if you try to filter out to see if they qualify for ancillary services or other services. And I'm happy to hear that you are doing that. And I look forward to talking to people in Tulare County and seeing if we can have a meeting out there. I was driving to work the other day and I was heading on 198. I could not see. And I'm like, we have two major freeways, 198 and 99 so close and just surrounding our community that, yeah, I'll be working on that.
Just curious, what's the run time compared to a gas engine on these lawnmowers? Do these guys have to buy 2 or 3 electric lawnmowers or do they have backup batteries? How does that kind of work?
So yeah, the program that we run, we actually give them a backup battery. And it really depends on the length of the grass. So, if you wait until you have a foot worth of grass, the battery's not going to last as long. But if you're regularly out there mowing, it has more than enough power to mow both your front and back lawn, like the normal backyards, no problem. So yeah, 30 minutes to an hour roughly.
But the commercial guys that get to ride on.
Oh, the commercial ones, they also get additional backup batteries as well for their equipment. Yeah, we haven't heard any issues with them not having enough power to get through the jobs that they need to. So it's just been really positive feedback in general.
Okay, we'll go with Bakersfield.
I have a couple of questions. Concerning the buses for the schools. I've been hearing reports and stuff. I don't know if it's true or not, but I understand that the school buses are a lot of the company that makes them went out of business, is not servicing them. I don't know if that's correct or not. The other one is they said the price of the school bus is like $400,000 for an electric one for a new one. And a new gas one is $140,000 for a school bus. I don't know if any of that is true or not, but I understand a lot of them are being parked, not being used because of issues that they have with them. I don't know if that's true. Could you answer that?
Sure. I can take that question. And So there was a company that was providing buses in general, not just school buses, but also transit buses and like most industries, there are companies that come and go. That was kind of earlier on. Some of the companies that most of the schools work with are companies that have been around for 100+ years. The Bluebirds and Lion are some of like the major manufacturers of school buses, and those companies have been around for quite some time, and they continue to also produce not just electric, but they also produce diesel and gas. So I mean they're diversified. So there's little likelihood that they're going to cease operating. In regards to buses not being used, I think if you were, I'm not going to say that there haven't been situations where maybe with some of the older generations, some of the original generations that some of those did have some issues. And but my understanding is for the most part, they're still being operated, but they're limited to some of the smaller routes. As technology is continuing to improve, the range of these things is continuing to expand. Similar to like semi trucks right now, where we're getting reports that there are some semi trucks that are able to get 500 miles. So I think that you'll start seeing that same thing with school buses, that they're able to service the same routes as the gas and diesel school bus fleets.
Excellent, but I heard it was the Lions. I mean, Lions school buses that went out of business. I don't know if you heard that or not.
I have not. I could definitely look into that.
This is curious because I know in our area they're looking at buying new buses, but they're kind of hesitant because they have a few that, like you said, from the beginning that had some issues with it, that they couldn't do their full route because they couldn't quite make it. But they are looking for the newer models are better, and there's another company that could supply them. Then one day, that's really went out of business. That's a question I had.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's really important to, and this is what we've seen, that the school districts that are using them, electric school buses, they're getting a lot of phone calls from other school districts and talking with administrators and bus drivers in regards to their own personal experience. And so I think they're getting the honest feedback that they need, and in regards to what they can actually do. And so school district officials are doing their due diligence and really digging into that to make sure that what they're doing is going to be in the best interest of that school district.
Okay, with that, we'll go to Modesto.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, I guess Stephanie, you're part of that superstar team, so congratulations on all your work. And I know that Reina was bringing up a good point in terms of, besides the process and having those other programs available, especially when the folks go through the lawnmower exchange, it's really facilitated. Tom Knox was talking about that from Valley Can. They gather a lot of data, and there's like all the incentive programs. It's kind of like a one-stop shop. So I don't know if you've had the opportunity to be at any of those events, but if you are able to attend, you'll see how it flows through very smoothly, because they do the vehicle trade-in program, and so they're able to handle like hundreds of folks with ease. So working in tandem with the staff from the Air District. So it's a really great process. If you haven't gone out there to check it out, I highly recommend that you do, because you'll see how the staff works together, and they're very seasoned. So even for a small event, when they're doing the technical assistance with the trade-in vehicle program, and they'll just like have like a pop-up type of setting at the like Mountain Mike's Pizza in Stockton, they'll have like a couple hundred people come through that, and it doesn't seem like it because they process them so well, and they're very, very like culturally relevant. So all the staff that Tom has is also amazing. So if you do have an opportunity, I highly encourage anyone who hasn't seen that in-person process to go and see that, because they do have it down to a science. So I just wanted to give that little plug in, because I think I've attended almost all of them and the ones in the Stockton area, just because I'm so excited about the whole trade-in program that we have for the lawnmowers, because we used to take out, I bought an electric lawnmower, not a steel, but another one, and we would take it out and everyone wanted to know, are we giving it away or was it a raffle prize? And I'm like, no, because we were trying to show people this is what it is. And now that they have it, I mean, it's just like, there's so many folks that understand what it means to, you know, bring that in directly to their home and then see, you know, how they're gonna like cut emissions, but just, you know, the changes that they're able to make. It's kind of like the gateway that I kind of see that in terms of like then the other incentive programs, because it's a tangible item. It's not like huge as far as like a vehicle, but yeah, so they have a really great program. I just wanted to say that if you haven't had a chance, most definitely do that. And again, congratulations. And we do have a lot of data. So I don't know if maybe this has already been done in our last report, but especially like that we have the landscaper program, the one for the larger equipment for the folks that have those kind of businesses. If we have that data available, if maybe like on the incentive programs, if we can get a report out. I know that we're not on that agenda item, but if that's something we can do maybe for the future. Again, thank you.
Wrote that down as an action item. Thanks, SB.
Oh, good, because I was just making a note too. Okay. Okay, thank you for all those comments. With that, we'll go with district comments. Hello, Mr. Ryan.
Good evening. Chair,
Thank you,
members of the
Stephanie.
group. Ryan Hayashi, Deputy Air Pollution Control Officer. Happy to be here tonight with all of you. Just wanted to, last meeting, we had a great presentation in talking about wildfires. And, during that presentation, we talked about when we were going to get impacts, not if, because it's just, where we are located, surrounded by forests. We have a tremendous both state through CAL FIRE as well as the U.S. Department of Forestry, people that are actively working on this issue nonstop. They're doing a lot of mechanical means to remove materials, as well as doing prescribed burning, and then also relying upon residents to also take care of their properties and manage it through hazard reduction burning. And so I think that's part of the reasons why we haven't seen maybe some bigger fires that we saw in like the 2021 timeframe. But learning how to manage these things in a better manner. In regards to the Garnett fire that you've heard about, it is at 16,000 acres. If you looked out, you saw the pyrocumulus cloud that was that comes from those types of fires. And while impressive to see, it's definitely something that we don't want to see. And so we definitely try to do our part in working with the land managers to make sure that we're providing them tools and resources. All of our staffing. Our staff has been provided direction from our board to find opportunities to help them do more prescribed burning to hopefully reduce those hazardous wildfire fuels. And so, yeah, that's just a general update on that. I talked about the state and federal advocacy that we're doing right now. With the state, I'm sure all of you are very familiar with the fact that it's a very tight budget. There's you've often heard about the budget shortfall, but at the same time, very appreciative of everybody that's been going out there and talking to legislators about the ongoing need to fund incentive programs to get emission reductions for the public's health. And so, over these next few weeks, we hope to hear some news about what that looks like in terms for that. We're I think always cautiously optimistic in what we're going to be able to do and working with all of you and other Valley stakeholders in that effort. In addition to the farmer program, we're definitely advocating for programs like alternatives to ag burn and the AB 617 program. And so we're doing our best. We're trying to get the Valley's fair share of funding, to support these programs and the ongoing need for those emission reductions. And lastly, I just want to, second Chair Gutile's recognition of Mr. Graywall. Serving in any of these leadership roles is extremely important to the continuity of these groups and being able to hold these meetings. And so just really want to thank you for your willingness to, I know there was some initial apprehension kind of being new, but I think, you did a fantastic job when called upon. And in addition to that, I think you've just been you continue to be a great member of the group. So thank you so much. Are you talking about the governing board study session? Okay, yes. Thank you for reminding me, Manuel. So in October, we are going to have the governing board study session. And this is where we outline some of the work that's going to be most important to the organization over the following year. We can definitely send out information to the group in regards to the study session. It's being held in Bass Lake. And I try to have the dates. The 15th and 16th of October. Yes. It is. It's a public meeting. It's taking the place of the October meeting. Everybody's welcome and invited to attend. And we do get it's a great opportunity to get to know some of the board members in a little less formal setting. So yeah, encourage everybody if they get the opportunity. Thanks for the reminder, Manuel.
Screw it up.
What day?
October 15th and 16th. So usually on the first day, it starts around 11 o'clock. Yeah. Katrina will send that out to everybody.
Yeah, I think that would be helpful. I know that we talked about it in CDC.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, yeah. Okay, were there any questions for Ryan? You can start Modesto. Okay, and then we'll go to Bakersfield.
I have a question going back to the previous statement. Do we have any influence with CAL FIRES that we can get a hold of them to ask questions? Or you're having the same problem we have in our city, other cities that would like to have them come to our town and discuss the designations they put on our on wildfires and brushes and stuff that we can work on our cities to make it fire safe?
Yeah, we can definitely get you a contact, Mr. Cryer, to provide that to you.
That
Or I
would
guess-
be good, because we've been trying as a city to get a hold of them. And we tried, it's been several months and hadn't heard back, and it's hard to find someone who would want to come. Because they designate for example, we designate our town of Taft as a fire hazard. And we've had a lot of homeowners lost their insurance. Their insurance went sky high. Businesses got their business turned down, and we feel the designation is not correct. And this is for our town. About the other ones, we'd like for them to come out there and explain how they designate it and what can we do, like they did in Cambria, to make their town safe. And so we get our insurance redesignated down lower. So it helps the challenging cities like ours that the lower income and even my income, my insurance went almost $1,000 more a year just because of it, not still able to have insurance. But the law has gone up quite a bit that is making it hard with everything else is going up. That's the question I have.
Yeah. We'll get you that information. We'll send it to you through email.
Any questions or comments here?
That
in
would
Fresno?
be terrific because I've been working with Shannon Grove.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I just realized that there was a lag between Bakersfield and Fresno office. So I apologize if I cut you off. That was my bad. So any questions or comments here in Fresno?
Might as well. Reservation for 8, please.
Sounds good.
Okay, then we'll move on to item 11, potential future EJAG meeting agenda items. We've got the landscaping report. I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah, SB in general was, I think, just trying to get an update on some of the incentive programs.
Yes, that's right. And then we'll do our normal 617 updates. Is there anyone else that is there anything else anyone would like to have updates on? We'll start with Bakersfield.
You guys did a great job. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And then Modesto, anything that you would like to have added to the agenda? I see shaking heads. Anything here?
Yeah. Ryan, this has been a question that I think was brought forward on the lithium battery discussion. I think our schools, our businesses need to know from the state, because it's not the air district. What does the state have to handle these lithium batteries that once they're used up, and I'm going to go with the buses. Many of the buses that are not operating right now is that those batteries are sitting in those buses. And due to the young man down south, in regards to the buses issues, several school districts have their buses parked because they cannot get parts at all. Number two, your point is absolutely correct on making the statement that electric works in these short distance travels where they have the ability to buy a multi-bus that has battery, but also fuel. And again, you have the most cleanest engines in the world in these buses as compared to. But after what New York went through, and if anybody wants to go on, they can read what the New York Fire Department had upon knockout lithium batteries. The amount of scooters was bigger than this room that were piled that caught fires, and over 30 people have died and over 400 people injured on lithium battery fires. The California Air Resources Board has not delivered a plan that I've seen for anybody that gets an electric vehicle or a trucking company or a school. Where do I store these batteries? Like the big fire that occurred up in up north, up in the Delta, that big warehouse the old PG&E plant or warehouse plant caught fire and burned for days. And the amount of emissions and toxics all come into this valley because the wind blows this way. But I think we need to ask the question, what is the state's plan to deal with the used, tired lithium battery? Where do you store it? And are we going to be dumping our lithium batteries in another county another air district or another state, which I have a real problem with. We're starting to dump our garbage elsewhere, like Los Angeles brings its sludge up here. So I think we need to figure out how that fits into the EJAG, but it certainly should. And also the CAC is we need to hear from ARB. What is their real plan when they first started with the lithiums? What are we going to do with them? Send them to Mars? Going to send them to the moon? Truck batteries are 4,500 pounds. So you just don't take that battery and move it around the yard. You have to have a special piece of equipment. And again, those batteries, once they catch fire, you cannot put water on them. You have to let them burn because water agitates the fire. It increases the fire. So if that's a logical ask, but I've never heard how to handle the batteries. And I'm just thinking about all these schools, Sierra High School, Oakhurst High School, Madera, and maybe even Porterville, Placerville. I don't care where they are, but these schools have these buses that have these older batteries. What are they doing with them? Because they're going to be classified as a toxic hazard, probably toxic hazard 1, which is like a bomb. So if we can find that out, and that might be an item for discussion, but I think we need to know so that question could be answered correctly and intelligently to the people that ask, what are you doing with the batteries then? I don't want to say, well, I don't know. Are we dumping it out on the farm road? I could see somebody taking a 4,500 pound battery and dump it on one of my farms. Now the farmer's got himself a hell of a mess. Excuse the ladies, apologize for the term, but he's got that mess. So if we can have that as a discussion item, I really would like to see if we can do that with the CAC and here, so we're able to be more educated.
Okay. Yeah, we'll make note of that and we'll see what we can do.
Super. Thank you very much. And again, thank you for your presentation. And also thank you for all the work on the funding. I know you guys have, the district and Samir have worked their fingers to the bone in Sacramento and getting those funds and making them happy and seeing all the great programs. The air purifiers, I like where you did all 3 of them in one shot, in one area. So you got a purifier, you got a lawnmower, and oh, by the way, you got a car tune-up program. What a great opportunity. So again, thank you all. I don't know how many times to say thank you, but you've done a great job, the entire staff, even the technicians that are doing what you're doing. I don't know how you do it. And the
wizards behind the curtains.
and Ms. Rios, and your efforts as the clerk of the board and all that, thank you again for everything too.
Okay, at this point, we'll call for the second opportunity for public comments.
Thank you. Are there any public comments in Bakersfield?
No public comment in Bakersfield.
Thank you. Modesto, do you have any public comments?
No public comments in Modesto.
Thank you. I'm seeing no members of the public in Fresno and none online.
Perfect.
Oh,
I do have a comment and just actually an invitation because I have to. Listos California is coming to Tulare County. They are coming on September 2nd at the Agri Center here in Tulare. And it's a great opportunity for community members, CBOs, anybody who is interested in making sure that you are a resource to community on how to prevent disasters and just be prepared. It'll be a great event. I've been following them throughout California, and this is our one opportunity for the Central Valley to participate on September 2nd at the Agri Center. So I would highly encourage the district to have staff there. I think with you all going out into the community, I think it's a great opportunity if you guys didn't already have it contemplated. They do serve lunch, so you won't go hungry. Registration starts at 8 and it is a full day event. But it is an absolutely great opportunity to meet other people who are also making a difference and wanting to be the change in their community. And they have prepared kits to give out to community so that then you could go back out and train the trainer sessions with community. So it's pretty awesome. Just wanted to throw that out there.
Okay.
We can probably include that information in an update email out to the committee, and it definitely seems like an important program, and I think benefit a lot of people. So thank you for sharing that.
And it'll be all in Spanish with interpretation into English. So just prepping anybody so that you don't get any sense of uncomfortness when you enter the room. You will have interpretation available, but it will all be in Spanish. So it's definitely a good opportunity to be able to make that invite to community. I'm wondering if this could be published on the Air District Facebook page or social media. I could send the flyer or the link. Thank you.
Okay, at this time, I'll open it up to any other EJAG member comments. We'll start with Modesto.
Okay, just really quick, thank you to everybody for all the time commitment and expertise that the staff had, and especially all of our staff, but our staff here with our amazing pizza.
the best.
The gluten-free. And then also in terms of invitation, the 44th annual San Joaquin Powwow is taking place this holiday weekend on Saturday and Sunday. And so that's taking place at the University of Pacific. I'll send the flyer through staff so that can go out to everybody. And again, thank you for all of your hard work and dedication. And then for my nomination, thanks. Thank you.
Okay, and any EJAG member comments in Bakersfield?
The only comment I would say that in our city, we have a festival called Oil Dorado. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it. We have it every 5 years, and it attracts a tremendous amount of people. So we celebrate our oil industry and the uses and the story about oil that people don't understand about. But we have every 5 years, and we track probably close to 50 to 100,000 people, and it lasts for 10 days. And we have a lot of each day they have a different things going on. Like a beard contest, hair contest for the women, and food. There's a really big deal. And the money raised, they use that to give back to the community from the Dorado LLC. That they usually pretty significant amount they put back into the city to make our city a better place. But everybody's invited October 10th, and it'll be a lot of fun. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anything else here in Fresno? Okay. With that, again, thanks to everyone for being here tonight. I appreciate all of your time. And our next meeting will be October 23rd at 5:30. Thank you all, and I'll call this meeting adjourned.
Night, everyone. Thanks.